So previously class we have seen the linear probing, and next comes the quadratic probing, and after completing this quadratic probing we move on to the double hashing. Okay, and we have seen the separate chaining also, how it is useful in storing the elements. Okay, and in case of linear probing we had a disadvantage of clustering. Okay, that how it is overcome in case of quadratic programming. That leads to the concept of quadratic probing. The disadvantage to linear probing is the tendency for clustering. So items becomes clustered in the table. So it is that when you keep on inserting, it is dumped in one side of the hash table. So remaining part of the hash table is not inserted. So this is the disadvantage of linear probing. One way to deal with the clustering is to extend the linear probing technique. Linear probing technique. Instead of looking sequentially for the next open slot, we skip slots, thereby more evenly distributing the items that have caused collision. Okay, so instead of moving opening, we are looking for the next slot, next slots. We'll skip some slots evenly distributed. Okay, this will potentially reduce the clustering. So that now the clustering is reduced by this. So the general name for this process of looking another slot is called rehashing. Okay, with simple linear probing. So what we'll do, so we used to recalculate the hash value, that is called rehash. We will simply move by 1. Okay, if the collision occurs, what I will do, again I will recalculate the hash value. After while again recalculating, I will increment by 1. So keep on, I'll keep this as a constant. Okay, so if it is, I can keep like +3 also. Okay, so instead of doing this constant, I directly write the formula like position plus skip. Okay, the skip is can be any value. The variation of the linear probing idea is called quadratic probing. So how the quadratic probing actually works? Okay, it works on the basis of like n square or I square. So h plus 1, h plus 4. Okay, 1 square, 2 square, 3 square. So I move the I will check for the slots in based on quadratic. Okay, based upon the quadratic. So this is the hash function for the quadratic probing. Okay, I used to use I square. Previously you used 1. Okay, here I using first time I'll check for 1 I square. Then I will check if it is if collision occurs, I'll check for 2 square. So I'll move to the next slots, next 4 slots. I'll directly jump to the next 4th slot. So this is an example taken for quadratic probing. So this is the given elements to store in the hash table. Okay, for example, we take the element 67, no issues. Directly we will insert in the 7th index, and 90, okay, no problem, and 55, no issues. Okay, then 17 comes. So what we will do, we usually do what, like we try to find what the given key modulus the size of the table. So here what size of the table is what, generally what we will do, 17 modulus 10. Here the size of the table is 10. So 17 modulus 10 is the remainder is 7. So I will try to insert into this position. Okay, but it is not possible. The collision occurs. It is element is already existing. Okay, the same thing. So initially we starting from 0. Okay, we are applying the formula. We are applying the hash function. While calculating the hash function, so this is the answer I get. Okay, so when I equal to 0, what happens? The collision occurs. When I equal to 0, the collision occurs. When it is like 1, then it is like 1, what happens? So 1 into 1, I square. So this is the formula. So the previous hash value. So how this 17 comes? Okay, how this 17 comes? This is the previous hash value. because this is the previous hash value. Should take the previous hash value. So previous hash value plus I square. Previously the I was 0, it was not working, the collision occurs. Then I am incrementing the I value by 1. Okay, so the previous hash value plus the I square. The answer I get is what? 8. What should I do? I have to insert the element 17 into the index 8. I will check for the index 8 whether it is free or not. The slot is free. Now it is free, so I will push it the 17 into the hash table. Okay, and next 49 comes. So 49, so I will calculate with this formula. I'll calculate the formula. I'll get the index of 49. I will directly insert into this position. Okay, this is what how the quadratic probing works. Next, we'll move to the last type of hashing, double hashing. Okay, so here the double hashing, from the name itself we can tell we are going to use two types of hashing. You're going to use two types of hashing, nothing but two hash functions. Two hash functions. Double hashing uses the idea of applying a second hash function to key. Okay, when I use the first hash function, if it is not working, I'll go to the second hash function. I have to use the second hash function to insert the element into the hash table. I need to calculate the hash key. Hash key is nothing but the index of the hash table. Okay, you have to know all these terminologies. What is hashing? What is hash function? What is hash key? What is hash table? Okay, all these things you have to know. Okay, why use double hashing? Double hashing is useful if an application requires smaller hash table. Okay, so what is the reason to use the double hashing? When a smaller hash table is required for application, any type of application you are using. Okay, this double hashing will be effectively finds the free slot. Although, even though the computation cost may be high, but can find the next free slots faster, even though the computational time. So here the computational cost is nothing but we used to refer the time complexity or the space complexity. Whenever we say the computational, we used to refer to the time complexity. So next we'll discuss about the analysis of algorithm, last part of this unit, so that we'll come to know what is computational cost. Okay, so even though it is bit difficult, but it finds the next slot very faster. That is the reason we are moving to double hashing. So first hash function is simple as division method. So we told two hash functions. One is the first hash function. It's called division method that I will show. And the second hash function. Okay, if it is not working, I will go to the second hash function. And while choosing the second hash function, we are going to define the hash function, right? We are going to define the hash function. You are going to write the formula for hash function. In writing the formula for hash function, what are the things I have to check? Two important rules. Okay, whenever you find a hash key from the second hash function, I repeat, whenever you find a hash key from the hash function, it should not evaluate to 0. When it evaluates to 0, it's means nothing. Okay, when you try to find 0, obviously there's nothing meaning of writing the second hash function. Then we will go for the first hash function itself, right? That is the reason the two important thing we have to look into the second hash function is that when you are designing a hash function of the second hash function, we have to check it should not evaluate to 0. Okay, and next thing is that much sure about the buckets that they are problem. Okay, it should in such a way that it should probe, it should search for the free slot in such a way that it should always look for the empty slots. Okay, it should not look for the collisions. Okay, when I try to do the second hash function, it should not calculate the value where already the element is residing in the hash table. If I do something like that, what happens? It means that no meaning of writing the second hash function. So such a way we have to write the second hash function. It should be probed to particular bucket or slot where the slot or bucket is empty, in such a way that we have to write the second hash function. The hash function for this technique. Okay, the first the hash function is what H1 we call. That is what simple one we told. simple division method. Okay, very basic thing we will use. No, key modulus table size. If it does not working, I'll move to the second hash function. Okay, the second hash function is the formula p. P represents any number. We can choose the p, any number of the number you can choose, but it should be lesser than the what size of the hash table. Okay, for example, if it is 10 size of the hash table is 10, I should choose the p value lesser than the 10. Okay, for our better case, we used to choose the p as the prime number. Always you try to choose the p as the prime number. I will show why we are choosing the prime number also. I have shown here clearly. Okay, where p is the prime number, which should be taken smaller than the size of the hash table. Okay, why choose prime number? What is the reason we should choose prime number? When data is not random, for example, you are inserting the data like this. If it's not random, like this, it means that 10, 20 all are multiples of 10. Okay, when I insert 10, okay, it is a multiple of 10. 20, it is a multiple of 10. 30, multiple of 10. 40, multiple, even it is also multiple of 5 also. Okay, so multiple of 10 and 5. See, if it is not random, it looks like it's not random. The elements are inserted in some order. Okay, when I try to calculate the first hash, when I apply the first hash function, always it comes with the hash value. Repeatedly comes the hash value is 202020. So it's not working. Always a collision occurs. Okay, if I choose the prime number, see here we use 4. Here we use 1. If I choose instead of 4, if I choose prime number, it will be better. Okay, here only 0 and 2 will have collision. That is bad. Okay, so what I should do, instead of 4, what number if I choose, it will be good enough to store the elements into the hash table. For example, it is a prime number like 7. If I choose, if it is not random case, if it is random case, the elements are inserted in random case, no problem. You can choose any number, like if whatever we told the previous slide, 4 we can choose. But if it is not random, it is coming in some order, 10, 20, 30, 40, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. If it is coming like in this order, then their problem occurs. See, this is the value 3, 6, 2. The slots are, the index are different. That's why we are choosing the prime number for the second hash key. Okay, the reason prime numbers are used to neutralize the effects of pattern. So the pattern, previous pattern is what, 2020. The pattern is like this only. Okay, every time the 2020 comes. So to avoid the pattern, we are using the prime number 7. Okay, when you are using the second hash key, if again the collision occurs, there comes the problem. Okay, even when using the second hash key, if a problem occurs, collision occurs, what we have to do? We have to repeat the hash key like this. So the second thing what I have to do, second hash key is like this, hash 1 key plus 2. I will multiply with the second hash key and you will find the index value. For this formula, what is the index value? Okay, if again it's colliding, what happens? I have to try for the another second hash function, another hashing function. Okay, here I am using 3. Like this, it keeps on increasing until I find the free slot. Okay, for example, we have taken this elements 67, 90, 55, 17, 49. Okay, what I told, we have to in case of double hashing, first we have to calculate the hash 1. Okay, when 17 comes, okay, for 67, 90, 58, no issues. Okay, when 17 comes, collision occurs. Okay, because 17 modulus 10 is, where is 10 is the size of the hash table. So 7 comes, it is colliding. So I had to recalculate here nothing, but I will move to the second hash function. What is the second hash function? Prime number. What I told, we always try to choose the p as the prime number. Okay, 7 minus 17 is nothing but the key. Here it is a key. Keep in mind, it is a key here. Okay. In previous quadratic probing, we have seen that we choose the previous hash key. Okay. Here it is only key modulus the prime number. Okay. And the value is 4. So when I calculate this, uh, when I apply prime number to this hash function, second hash function, I'll get the value as 4. So what I do, I have to jump 4 slots from the colliding slot. Keep in mind, I have to hop 4 slots from the colliding slot. Who is the colliding slot here? Colliding slot is 7, the index 7. From here, I have to move 4 slots. 1, 2. So it can consider that it will be in circular format. Okay. Anyway, it will go for the search for the starting position. When the hash table ends, okay, it goes to the, again goes to the beginning of the hash table. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So here it comes. Here, when coming to the 4th slot from the colliding slot, it now it finds the free slot. It inserts the 17 into the index 1. 17 into the index 1. This is what the double hashing works. If again this collides, what I will do, I will go for the next hash function. I told no.